And welcome back. I wanted to make this quick video because quite an interesting Porsche 928 has come on the market for sale. It's actually on auction at Piston Heads, and it's got, I think, 4 days left to run. The reason it's really interesting is because it appears to have a very rare wide body kit from factory. I'll show you the car. It's a 1989 Porsche GT, Porsche 928 GT. I think it's in plain black with black interior. It's not in the best condition, but it does appear to be quite a rare car. Let's dig into it and see what we can find out. Now the car is in black. It has 77,000 miles, and as I said before, it's 1989. The current bid is at £9,700. Now, Porsche GTs tend to go, a tatty one tends to go for probably 15,000, something like that. A pristine one, really pristine, you could be looking probably 40, somewhere around there. And this kind of middle of the road ones are 25-ish, something along those lines. If we just look through the photos so you get an idea of what we're talking about. So as you can see, it's a black car. You can't tell an awful lot from that angle. The paint has started to deteriorate across the bonnet. Really not uncommon. Unfortunately, my GT's done exactly the same. Much worse though. Nothing of interest at the front there. It's got the teardrop wing mirrors I noticed earlier. Everything else looks pretty standard. It's when we start coming around the back that things change. The inscription on the back there is incorrectly placed. It should be underneath, and the GT is kind of staggered. But it's not a major problem, is it, of course? This is where things get interesting. So if you look at this rear arch, it has been flared out, and you can see the stone guard comes around quite a lot. A bit like a 911 Turbo does it in a very similar way. Corrosion in the standard place on the rear window here. And I don't think there's a lot more from that photo. Let's keep going. Okay, and this side is where you can see the damage to the paint. So this is, I might be wrong, but I think it's where the lacquer starts, or the clear coat starts to peel off. Mine has done very similar across the entirety of my GT. And you can just get the shape of this, this flared arch. It does look a bit strange here. I wonder what's going on there. Something a bit unusual by the looks of it. It doesn't look quite as smooth as you'd expect. The mouldings, side mouldings come off there. Just picking up anything. It's got a set of BBS split rim wheels on it, which are quite nice. Not necessarily my preference, but you know, each to his own. So there you can see the rear arch quite neatly. Yeah, okay. Nothing else on that one. There's an awful lot of photos. There's 249 photos. So I'm going to have to go quite quick just to sort of zip through them. See the paint sort of starting to go bad again here. And I believe I've been told that one of the wing mirrors is wrong. I don't know if it's that one. Yeah, so it's having to be angled because the mounting's wrong. The glass is having to be angled absolutely at maximum to be able to see anything in it. So clearly this is aftermarket. I'm not sure they fitted the teardrop mirrors actually from factory anyway, but I might be wrong on that. So just zipping through a little bit quicker. Lots of photos of the outside of the car. They're certainly not trying to hide anything. Headlights come up nicely, no problem. You can see the paintwork is still a bit tatty there. Nothing of interest really. More paint problems, paint. There's the wing mirror at maximum. This one not. Okay, from that last photo you can see that the front driver's seat's got quite a nasty rip in it, but we'll come back around to that in a second. This is all just someone showing you the paint damage. So 928s have the roof and the two rear panels are steel and the rear hatch. You can see there's quite a lot of corrosion going on here. This would be horrendous if you get the paint off. This is different on mine as well. It doesn't end like that. I'm not sure. I'd have to pop out and look, but I don't recall it ever stopping short. More corrosion, lovely, more corrosion, and I'm going to say it again. Okay, just really whipping through the photos now. The wheels are pretty tatty, aren't they, if we're honest? They all need refurbing. But BBS are quite expensive. I pulled up a couple of options on BBS just to see, you know, how much they're worth. They're over 1,000 a set, really. I don't know what they are. Well, 600, so maybe not that expensive, but they're basically not cheap. So let's assume that the wheels are worth, I don't know, 6 to 1,000. Horrible wheel. It does come with the standard wheels, so that's pretty good. I'm not seeing a lot there. The seats are in quite good condition, apart from the rip. Different stereo, 77,000 miles. Really nice low mileage on this. Not going to get a lot from that. More of the, so the pod is really badly cracked. You can pick a replacement pod up for about £200 on eBay, so that's fine. Dashboard is really badly cracked. Yeah, coincidentally, I've got a a S4 dashboard here without cracks in it that I'm about to butcher on my 79 car. Okay, so keep pushing on. See, this seat has been sprayed of recent. You can see it's just it looks very, very good. That is not how it would be look after that many years. Door card, a couple of poppers coming out, no big deal. Nothing. Replacement speakers look horrendous. So this has gone here. There's a nasty rip here, and there's a nasty rip up higher on that same seat. I'm sure we'll get to it in a second. There we go. So this, this all just needs taken out and retrim. I don't say retrimming, but it needs to go to a trimmer to be restitched. I think it would just get worse and worse otherwise. All looks pretty good though. There's no horror stories there. The headliner has warped. Let's go back one. Headliner's warped at the top here. I think they all go there. I don't know whether it's where the condensation sits or whether they all leak across the back of the rear hatch. Sunroof, they're pretty pathetic, the sunroofs on the 928. Some juicy amp he's fitted so you can put in some more stereos. Lots of photos taking out the carpets, showing us all stuff, which is really good. Nothing to hide. Yellow screwdriver, the dream. Everyone wants a yellow screwdriver. All that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, a bit more evidence of the... this is actually the panels that sits on the rear hatch. Also started to warp and fall apart. Okay, this battery box. I mean, it looks very clean, doesn't it? It does look... It looks pretty good condition on the inside. These are pretty rare as well, the spare wheel cover. Certainly to have one that's not cracked. Engine's had a refurb, that has been sprayed of recent, I don't know how many years ago. It's pretty tidy under the bonnet. I had a look earlier. I'm no engine expert, but it does look really clean, relatively clean. Obviously, I would say they're original radiators, but apart from that, it's not looking particularly tatty. Obviously, it wouldn't hurt to powder coat the headlight bar, but apart from that, it's all just age related. And now that looks different colour to me. That looks blue, but it's probably just the sky, I guess. I'd not seen that photo before. Strange. All good. What I really wanted was, so they've done a rear box delete. That'll make it sound pretty sweet, I would expect. Underside looks good. The battery box looks good. The cradle, even the tank cradle, is not rotted horrendously. Obviously a little bit going on there, but nothing bad. I don't see anything scary here at all. Looks good. Gearbox is leaking oil, but the underside's nice. Even got the trays in place. Mine's lacking those. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. Yeah, a little bit of corrosion going on at the front. That's the engine under tray, which has obviously been whacked. Corrosion on here, clean it up. There's no problem. It's this is the tow hook. Sorry, trying to get the word out. All looking good. Front spoiler. Yeah, so I mean, I think we've been pretty much, he's kept the rear box, which is nice. And there's a few bits of trim and stuff, the original steering wheel, bits and bobs. And then it goes into the service history, which is really nice. So looking up its MOT, looking up the registration, confirms the build date, May 89. I'm going to pop all the way back. So the first MOT we've got recorded on the system is 2006, where it passed with 49,000 miles. It did 5,000 miles and passed again in 7. Then it did another 7,000 miles and failed. And I've had a quick look through earlier. Each failure is nothing that bad. And each time they get resolved straight away. It's just little things like track rods, tyres worn and things like that. And it's got a fairly scattered pass-fail history, which is fine. It spent a couple of years off the road. 2009 it was off the road, 2011 it was off the road. I won't call them out, 2014. Then I think it's been on the road every year from there on. Failed here with a load of emission problems, a load of the tyres close to limit. Nothing exciting though, really. Here it failed again with emissions. But that takes it all the way up to the present day with 77,000 miles, which is really good. Then I started to dig into, let's just come out of the history. Let's go back to the article itself, the description of the car. So this describes the car as having where is the code? An XK9 option, which is a factory-fitted GTS body kit. Now, when you look at the photos, that is not a GTS body kit. If you zoom in on that, that's better. That doesn't look like a GTS to me. These are flared arches. I did a bit of digging and I found this post on Rennlist, which talks about the XC1 option code. And if we look at the photos for this, these are exactly what we're seeing. If I go back and forth, let's pick a photo there. That maybe there's a better one. Maybe that's a good one. So if we look at that photo, you can see how the stone guard comes round and everything. And if you look at this photo, it's exactly the same. I think there's a few photos for us to pick through. You know, you can see the stone guard come round. Looks exactly the same to me. Even this rear trim, which I don't think my standard GT is the same. And then someone's posted a few extra pictures of it. And there's a really nice description of, that's a great photo for us to compare. If I just zoom that in, if you compare that to that, it's basically the same, isn't it? This rear trim's the same, it comes around neatly. Looks the same to me. So they don't list it on the option codes. I've got the VIN checker here, which confirms, it's an 89 928 GT, correct engine, correct gearbox, and then it lists the codes. Now, none of the special codes are listed on here. All the codes it lists are impact absorbers front and rear, Bridgestone tyres, locking diff, Toronto stereo, 2 sport seats, Club Sport forged wheels, where they're not on the car now, it's got the BBS, sport shocks front and back, special GT version, which we know, and a sunroof. So there's no talk of the special option code, which is strange. The article goes on about potentially having a racing driver as its first owner, and then sort of dismisses that. I don't know. It's a curious car. £25,000 spent some time ago. Where was that? In 2019. It makes you wonder what they did for £25,000. I'd love to see exactly that. There are some bills, and I'll pick through them in a second and just see if I can find that out. Yeah, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Let me quickly look at those bills now. Documents. So, so just pick through them. Auto check. There's a lot of. This is more about checking the history of the car. So 1,500 quid, 1,300 quid, 300,000 there. I mean, there's a lot going on. Clutch kit. I know a lot about clutches, unfortunately. Steering rack recon. There's £5,000 spent here on a load of stuff. 928 spares. Another 5,000. It's horrendous, isn't it? 11,000, 13,000 he paid at 928 spares. And there's probably another wad, another 7,000. I mean, God knows. Engine harness, injector loom. Yeah, there's an awful lot of money being spent on it, which is surprising. I'd like to pick through that a little bit slower. So that's the car. It's a bit of a mystery, isn't it? The option codes do not list it as having any kind of wide body kit at all. So I don't really know what to say. It does look like an XE1 option to me, and they are hyper rare. There's on the Rennlist post, they start trying to list all of the VIN numbers for the cars that existed. I think they say there's 79 in existence. I'll post a link to that Rennlist code. To me, it doesn't look like a GTS body kit at all, and that option code isn't on there either. So let me know what you think. I think we should have a little guess about the value though. It's at 9,000 at the moment, just over 9,000. 4 days to run. Where do we think that'll end up? Is that it? Are people going to run out of steam, or is it going to keep pushing on up towards 20, 30,000? Who knows? I'm going to say a number. Well, actually, I'm going to post a number in my comments. Please do the same. Let's have a little game and see if we can guess. But thanks for watching. Let's watch the auction. I'll post a link to the auction as well and see how it does.